Thank you for joining me for this special segment of the Play Big Movement podcast. Each week I release a full-length interview, but this part of the interview is not released to the public. This segment is available exclusively for you as a member of the Play Big Movement right here. To hear the full-length interview, please visit SharonLechter.com/podcast. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this segment of the private Facebook group for the podcast Play Big Movement with Sharon Lechter. Thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today. And I'm delighted to have Sharon Lamm-Hartman with me, Dr. Sharon Lamm-Hartman. Thank you for hanging in there for us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, we've been friends for several years. We're both in the Women Presence organization and had the delight to see her business just skyrocket and grow internationally and globally. You've been in Australia, you've been in Europe, all kinds of places. Mm-hmm. And she teaches executive leadership, presentation skills, presence skills to top executives in C-suite for the top 50 Fortune 50 companies. So it's pretty impressive. Talk about play big. I think you definitely do. She's top in her field. She is living her legacy and creating maximum impact. And before we started, she was just telling me that she hasn't been on the road as much because she's got trainers out there doing the work. And I go, that means you're heading in the right direction. You've become the conductor. Right?
Yes, I know. It feels so good, Sharon, to have such a great team that I can rely on and delegate to, and that they're out doing the great work.
Yep, that's fantastic. And that's really how you build those duplicatable systems so that you can grow exponentially. So I'm very proud for you and of you. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So if you have not listened to the regular podcast recording, please go back and do that, because content rich about her formula for the authenticity code, and that is your presence, right?
Your presence
plus your audience plus your presentation determines your success.
Yes.
So we were comparing that to when I talk about my three-legged stool, whether your product or your service, your ability to communicate it, and your platform. Mm-hmm. So again, understanding those components are so very important, and Sharon gave us some great insights into each of those. And so in this group, what made you decide to start Inside Out Learning?
So what made me decide to start my company is that I was inside of a company for 6 years, and I was so grateful for that experience because it gave me, it took me to Europe, to Asia. I was able to work with mentors in the training and development field. And then I really had a drive to go back and get my doctorate at Columbia University in New York in leadership and organization development. And when I was there, so many of my classmates said, we would hire you in a second, Sharon. You should come. And one was even in GE, mm-hmm. and at the GE Crotonville Leadership Center. So I said, well, why am I not doing that? And I decided to
open to putting yourself in the place of highest potential. You were there.
Right? I was there. And I said, okay, well, maybe it's time to try something new. And I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, when I was a little girl, I would play, everyone would want to go out and do something. I would be like, let's play work or let's play business. And so I've always loved that. And so I decided to start my business, and I'm so grateful because I was in this incredible educational system at the time with my classmates who brought me into multiple companies.
And so that goes to what I talk about all the time, the power of association. So share your thoughts on the power of association.
Oh my gosh, who you surround yourself with. It's so important. You really need to decide where are you going to, who are you going to surround yourself? Where are you going to go? What situations are you going to put yourself in? So I'm always looking for continuing education opportunities, because you can surround yourself with like-minded people and successful people. Even the Women's Presidents Organization, you know, there's a requirement there that you have to be at a certain revenue to be in that group. So you're surrounded by peers, and to be able to help one another and uplift one another. And actually, I've also been an adjunct faculty member at the Center for Creative Leadership. And there they said that we did research, and it showed that women develop more through supportive relationships and men through challenging job assignments. Not that they don't.
Repeat that.
Okay, so women develop more through supportive relationships, and men develop more through challenging job assignments.
I would agree with that.
And so I think it's so important for women, especially, to surround themselves with their peers who can uplift them, who believe in them. You know, I want to be surrounded by people who are going to help take me forward. I want to help them go forward. It's a wonderful feeling to be able to do that.
I love that. So, and the business has just skyrocketed. You've done very well year over year. What are some of the challenges you faced?
Oh my goodness. Lots. So I've been in business for 20 years, and I would say a few, right? One is, if your personal life is not in order, and or there's something happening in your personal life. You know, when my son was born, he had severe asthma. After 8 months, he got the RSV virus, and he had severe asthma, and we were in and out of hospitals. And it's still, you know, to talk about it is emotional to me, because I saw him struggle so much. So I put my business on the side for those 6 years. And the doctor said, oh no, he's going to be, you know, chained to an inhaler the rest of his life. And I was like, I don't want that for my son. So I really dedicated a lot of time to going out and helping find the right doctors, the right nutrition, even the right healers to be able to help him. And he doesn't have asthma today, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah,
but you still look for those, you know, the spiritual healing and the things that keep you. We talk about One Big Life.
Yes.
She knows Elaine Rawls, so that's
yes,
where I got
love Elaine.
And so we talk about your spiritual side, your health, you know, your body, mind, and fitness. And so even though you're so successful in the really dyed-in-the-wool corporate world,
yes,
you still seek out that other support. Right?
Absolutely, it's so important. So
I tend to end this segment with asking people, not just the power of association, but what are your daily habits, or what habits do you have that you attribute to your success?
Oh, that's a great question, Sharon. I start every day. I start with some stretching. So I do actually Sterling Structural Therapy is I've worked with them for years, and I start out with some stretching and visualization and prayer. So I start my day with that, and then I end my day with also prayer and giving thanks. And so it's, and I try to get a walk in when I'm home. I try to get a walk, and I love to get outside and walk in nature. And even if I'm on a phone call or whatever, in order to get out and move, I think that's very important as well.
Oh, you have a beautiful home with incredible views. So I'm sure you have some incredible walking trails up there.
I do. We love it.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And we will again post your contact details, insideoutlearning.com. And thank you so much for your time. And for all of you watching this, please take the time to re-listen to both of Sharon's podcasts, because they truly have incredible content and can support you in getting to the next level. But also share it with your networks, because we need to be more collaborative. And so we talk about it here. I remember, you may not know this, when you were first joining WPO, they came to me to ask my permission, because part of the WPO cycle is that for each chapter, there's not competitors in the chapter. And they thought, well, we better check with Sharon, because you know, she does mentorship and that kind of, this Sharon, to see if we can bring this Sharon in. And I said, absolutely, the more the merrier, and supporting, because you know, the definition of what I do is not exactly what you do, even though it's kind of in that same industry. And so I support you 100% and support the direction that you're going, and I'm so proud of the success that you've had. So, and perseverance. Lots of perseverance.
Yes, and that would be another you know, when you are faced with business obstacles, you got to persevere.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I value our friendship. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
Oh, I so value our friendship as well, and your support and mentorship, and thank you for having me. I'm grateful.
Absolutely. So all of you, rewind, re-listen, take notes, and share this with your network. And otherwise, go out there and have an incredible day. Be fabulous, and play big. Be number one in your field, live your legacy, and create maximum impact.